Well, we're still working on the VZR1800, the M109R Suzuki. We're going to do an oil change on this because this has kind of a unique way of changing oil. It's not sort of unique how you drain it, except it has two drain plugs. But you have to run this thing for 15 minutes before you check the oil. You run it for 15, it sets for 3, and then you check the oil, and that is important to do. Also, this is one engine you do not want to overfill with oil because it'll push oil up into the air box and then out on the ground. We have two drain plugs. One is right here. The other one is right here. See if you're in there. Yep. One here and one there. We're going to drain both of those. The oil filter sits up at the front. Underneath here, we'll come underneath here with the oil filter wrench to get it loose. Not sure you can see it. We have both oil plugs pulled and drained. They're about done draining now. We'll get the oil filter loose, but we don't have it off yet. The pan isn't big enough to catch both drains and the oil pan. So we will wait a minute, put the plugs back in, then drain the filter. If you're curious what we're putting back into this thing, well, let me show you. We have a genuine Suzuki oil filter. If you're wondering about the part number on this, it is the 16510 07J00, which is a very common Suzuki filter. Any of your dealers should have this in stock. Insist on the Suzuki genuine oil filter. It'll cost you a couple of dollars more than a K&N or any other aftermarket brand. I guarantee you, this one is made for your engine. I could not guarantee you, nor will Suzuki, that any other one is made for your engine. As far as oil goes, we're using the XR R5000 1040. This is motorcycle specific oil, MA2, and this is also Suzuki branded oil. You might ask why we're using Suzuki stuff? Because we're working on a Suzuki. So we got it draining, we'll get the drain plugs back in it, and we'll also get the filter on it. We'll also replace these crush washers on the drain plugs. See if I can get this thing to actually focus here. There are crush washers on here, and we're going to remove those and put new ones on as well, on each bolt. You'll also see there's a magnet inside the end of this. Oh, come on, sweetheart. There we go. There's a magnet in here. You can see there's almost nothing on it. And this oil has been in here for about 3,500 miles. So I think everything's in pretty good shape in this engine. Takes a 17mm wrench to get them off. When you put these back on, if you don't have an idea of what tight is, make sure you absolutely use a torque wrench on these. You can pull the aluminum threads out of the case, and when you do, you're going to be singing a sad song trying to get those fixed. So do not over torque these. At the same time, do not under torque them. So make sure if you don't know what tight is, you use a torque wrench. This is part of the oil we drained out of here. I already dumped some of it out to get my drain plug back. But the reason what I wanted to show you, there is a rubber seal on this filter. This is the old filter. Make sure that comes off with your filter. Do not screw another filter on if that's still stuck to the engine. And we're ready to fire this thing up. We're going to time this, and it's going to run for 15 minutes sitting here idling. And that's what it's going to do for 15 minutes. I'll bring you back. Not sure how well you're going to be able to hear me on this, but this thing, when you pull the brake lever in, goes click, 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 click. See, it doesn't move smooth like that. We're going to fix that. Let's see if I can get a little better light here. Pull it in. It doesn't pull smoothly. We're going to pull this lever off and lube all this and fix that. You can see this bolt's a little cruddy. It's not bad. It's not dry, but it's not real good. But the real issue is where this, on this lever, so I can get you to focus better. This gets dry where it pushes on the master cylinder piston, and that is what makes it go, it gets all jerky. You can see where it's been lubed in the past. But we're going to lube it again and make this thing pull in much better. I cleaned this up, and I put just a little bit of red grease on it and put some on this as well, and that'll make a huge difference in the way this thing actually works. Alright, our 15 minutes are up. We just shut this thing off. We're going to wait 3 minutes, and then we're going to recheck the oil level on it. We kind of went over the rest of the bike. We need to add some slack to the clutch. These things take a lot of clutch slack, a little bit more than what there is. The reason being is whenever these things go under power, they'll pull this lever away from you. It's the way that the engine is mounted into the frame. It is rubber mounted, and it needs a little more slack than that. Much more than a normal bike, about 2 or 3 times what a normal bike would have. So we will adjust that. We'll wait our 3 minutes out and we'll recheck the oil. Alrighty, we're going to recheck our oil here. These you do not screw in. You just set them down against the threads like that. Just like that, and you pull it out and check the oil. It is right there on the stick after idling for 3 or 15 minutes and setting for 3. And that's about where we want it. Well, that's how we change the oil on this. It does take a while with the 15 minutes plus 3 minutes, but it's the only accurate way to do it.